Welcome to Wellbeing Wednesday Live. For those that don't know me, my name is Dr. Ruth Allan. I'm a certified brain health professional, high performance coach and havening practitioner, as well as a licensed brain health trainer for organisations and individuals. And I'm here today to support all those that are disaffected by the Ukrainian crisis that continues to unfold. And here to support all those Ukrainians and also the Russian families out there and anyone else who is really supporting this crisis in bringing it to a peaceful resolution, to help you really learn how you can unchain your pain from the psychological trauma of war. And I'm not just talking about this war, but anyone that has been disaffected by past wars and past crises. And I'm here to you today because on Monday I released my show episode, which is specifically dedicated to the Ukrainian crisis, to provide you with a detailed insight into how psychological trauma in the context of war manifests in our brains and what steps you can take to unchain your pain. And I wanted to come to you today live because I realised that on the show it was very difficult for you to see what I was doing because I was also presenting. So today I'm here to show you and demonstrate to you how you can reduce your day-to-day stress and anxiety. Next week is Brain Health Awareness Week for a whole week, and I will be coming to you every day through my Facebook group, Wellbeing Warrior Academy. So if you sign up to any of my programs and you join the Facebook group, you'll have access to all the training in the Facebook group. I will be talking through the 5 pillars of brain health next week to really help you learn how you can look at those 5 pillars, look at the facts behind the situation that you are in your life right now, and learn how you can use the 5 pillars of brain health to unchain your pain and really step into the person you want to be, get that clarity of thought that you need, and look forward to optimizing and recovering your brain health. If you have any questions at all about brain health, about unchain your pain, about psychological trauma of war, about steps that you can take, or anything else, then please do drop your questions in the chat and I will seek to answer them at the end of this. Just for all those that have access to the chat, I've just put a post to say that those disaffected by this crisis, the Ukrainian crisis, we are here to support you unchaining your pain. We are offering free trauma recovery group coaching, as well as free access to our online course, which is specifically focused towards families in learning how to reduce their day-to-day stress and anxiety. And I encourage you to reach out to us by emailing support@ruthmaryallen.com, where we'll be able to give you an exclusive coupon code to gain access to that. We are running live tonight at 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Wednesday, Wellbeing Wednesday, a free trauma recovery group coaching for anyone disaffected by this Ukrainian crisis. If you know of friends in the Ukraine who, or those that have evacuated, who would like psychological support, we are here for you tonight at 8 p.m. GMT. And I would welcome anyone who is Ukrainian and speaks fluent English, because I'm really sorry, but I don't speak Ukrainian, to join me on that session. And then I can make it available in both my language and your language, so that you can reach more people and help more families, and particularly more children, to stop the trauma that they're experiencing now from really taking deep root inside their minds, and not only affecting them now but later on in life. And that is so important. If you'd like to learn more about trauma and how it manifests, then please visit my show episode that was released this Monday, which I think is episode 23, by going to my show page on my website. So let's dive into how can we truly unchain our pain in the context of psychological trauma of war. Well, first of all, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can do self-havening on yourself, and your children can learn this too. This is an incredibly powerful technique that is used. It's very similar in terms of its scientific, or not scientific, but biological intervention inside your mind, how it works, to EMDR therapy, eye movement, desensitization and reprocessing. It's incredibly powerful and it's incredibly simple, and you can use it on a day-to-day basis. And it's really important for those that are disaffected by this war is that you practice this on a day-to-day basis with your family, with your community, to really help you release the trauma that is encoded inside your mind. The more you practice it, the more resilience you're able to build up inside your mind, the more you're able to calm down the vulnerable landscape that has been created as a result of this trauma of war, and the more you're able to down-regulate your mind and bring it back to a level that is hopefully more manageable. So how does havening work? Well, havening is a psychosensory technique that uses the power of human touch to generate calming delta waves in your mind. And it's something that we possess from birth, is this need for human touch to regulate our emotions. It's something that we all have as a superpower inside of us. It's an incredible skill set. It's incredibly powerful, and I'm here to show you how to use it today. The way we do it from a havening perspective is there's 3 techniques that we use to generate these calming delta waves in our mind. Now, the first way is we wash the palms of our hands. So that's rubbing our hands as I'm showing now. So just have a go at doing this if you feel that you're in a safe place. So this is washing the palm of your hands. The second way we can do it is washing our face. And you may find like you put your head in your hands when it's a state of despair, you just can't believe it. That's a kind of like your natural human response to initiate these calming delta waves by stroking your face. My dad used to do this a lot when he was having moments of despair. Sorry for losing the camera angle there. And you can cross your hands over on your face, whatever feels comfortable, round by your forehead. Do whatever works for you. And then finally is stroking your shoulders. So from your shoulders down to your elbows, all the way down to your hands. And you can cross your hands over the other side too. And your kids can practice doing this. If people are receptive and accepting of you doing this on others, particularly children, then you can do this on your children, or your children can do it on an animal. So grab a lovely cuddly toy or an animal that maybe you've brought your dog with you, or you have a dog there to stroke or cuddle, is they can apply a human touch to the dog, and that application of touch, much like washing the palm of your hands, will generate those lovely calming delta waves in your mind. So how does it work then? How does havening really work? Well, what happens when you experience a trauma is your brain sends high frequency gamma waves into the deep part of your mind called the amygdala. And those high frequency gamma waves plug what we call AMPA receptors onto the surface of your brain cell. And this is part of our survival mechanism. So we fight, flight, freeze or defensive rage, part of our response. And those AMPA receptors act as a short circuit on the surface of your brain cell, allowing you to do whatever your chosen response is at the time really, really quickly. And that's really helpful in the context of being in a threatening environment, if it's moving you to a place of safety, so reducing your risk of losing your life. It's often the context of war, but it might not be helpful for you in the future, and you may have lasting responses as a result of these AMPA receptors being plugged onto the surface of your brain cell. When you hear or sense anything that is similar to the experience that you had in the war zone that caused you to do run, flee, hide, whatever it was that your brain decided to do at that time. So what we want to do is, when you are in a place of safety, psychologically, when you feel safer, so perhaps you've evacuated to a country of safety, then we want to down-regulate our brain, and we want to unplug the unhelpful response that you have encoded in your mind. And that's what we do with 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐼ng. And we do this by generating these calming delta waves. And these calming delta waves are a much, much lower frequency of wave. And what they do is, as they go into your brain cells, as we activate that unhelpful experience and we apply a human touch in the form of 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐼ng, we tell our brain that there's lovely calming delta waves, not these high frequency waves, lovely calming waves coming into our brain. And those calming waves tell your brain to send different chemicals to the surface of your brain cell that's been activated. And those calming chemicals, they start to unplug those AMPA receptors. So like taking off my ring, they unplug those AMPA receptors from the surface of your brain cell and send them permanently into your brain cell, so that the response that you have, whatever you chose to do at the time, is broken. That outflow, that communication channel from your amygdala to the rest of your brain that told you to do whatever you chose to do, that response channel is broken, and all of the emotional, cognitive, sensory responses and autonomic responses, heart racing and so on, all of those responses associated with that trauma can be removed as part of this process, and it's permanent. And what's key from this particular approach to other approaches is that what we're going to do today is we're going to do a distraction technique. So we distract ourselves to allow the delta waves to do their work when you've activated the unhelpful experience from your day. So we're going to use this in the context of helping you reduce day-to-day stress and anxiety. So we activate the experience. We can do it content free, so we don't have to talk about anything in the process of undertaking self-𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐼ng. So we don't have to say anything about our experience, which often for many is too painful. For children, they don't have the vocabulary to be able to talk about it. So it's fantastic for children because they can do the technique, get distracted by singing nursery rhymes, get distracted by telling stories, get distracted by thinking of wonderful adventures that they've been on. Any lovely distraction technique for children is great. And similarly for yourself, sing out your favorite songs whilst you're doing this, to allow your brain to downregulate itself and to remove the encoding that's inside your mind. So the first thing really is to make sure that you've decided, you know how to do this technique. So it's stroking your shoulders, it's washing the palm of your hands, and it's stroking your face in whatever is comfortable for you. Do what is right for you. And the key thing is to do this throughout me talking to you. So I'm going to take you into distraction technique in a moment. But for those that are listening, Dr. Efren Lopez, thank you for joining. Stand with Ukraine, he says. So we're here to support Ukrainian crisis. So whatever you do, please do make sure that you are in a safe place before you undertake self-𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐼ng. So the first thing is I'd like you to think of your favorite place that you visited in the world, something that feels safe, peaceful and calm. Think of all of the things that make that place really beautiful, really calming, really relaxing, and bring that now to the front of your mind. Think about a place that you feel really safe, peaceful and calm in. And I just want you to just immerse yourself in that and practice some self-𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐼ng while you're immersing yourself in that lovely place that feels safe, peaceful and calm. Now I just want you to pause, and I want you to think now about an event that was troubling you during your day, something that made you extremely anxious or that made you extremely stressed. And I'd like you to bring that event to the forefront of your mind and bring all of that sensation into the forefront of your mind. And I'd like you to give yourself a distress rating score out of 10. If you want to, you can post it in the chat below. But please just give yourself a distress rating out of 10 now and write it down to make a note of it. As soon as you've given yourself that distress rating, I'd like you to immediately go into self-havening and take yourself back to that beautiful, safe place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm. If you're working with children, then maybe start singing some nursery rhymes with them. What we want to do is distract our mind, because we've activated the experience, and distract our mind into something that is much nicer and much kinder, so the delta waves can do their work. So for me, I'm going to take you to the beach, which is a place for me that makes me feel safe, peaceful and calm. I'd like you to think about the vehicle that you were traveling in to get to that safe beach, hopefully for yourself, or that safe place, and how you got there. Just have a think about what vehicle you were traveling in, and just imagine yourself now getting out of that vehicle and stepping into that beautiful calming place, or maybe you were going on foot, stepping into that beautiful, safe, peaceful and calm place that you've gone to now. And as you step onto, perhaps it's the beach or perhaps it's the woods, but as you step onto that, I want you to really sense the ground beneath your feet. I want you to listen to what you can hear around you that's maybe lovely and calming. Perhaps you can hear the birds, perhaps you can hear the sound of the waves, perhaps you can hear the rustle in the trees. Whatever it is that you can hear that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm, just listen to that beautiful sound. Maybe it's some lovely music, your favorite music playing in the background, or maybe it's the sound of the waves crashing on the shore. And as you walk along this beach, I want you to look out to your front and just observe what you can see in front of you on the beach. Perhaps you can see people walking on the beach, maybe there's some dogs walking around. Perhaps you can see some landscape in front of you. Can you see some beautiful sand? What is the colour of the sand in front of you? If you look to your left or to your right, can you see the ocean? Where is it in relation to you? What are the waves of the ocean doing? Are they lapping on the shore? Keep havening while you're doing this. Are they crashing on the shore and making a beautiful sound as they come into the shore? What's the sea state like? Is it calm? Is it really choppy? What do you want it to be in your place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm? And as you look out to the ocean, what can you see on the ocean? Can you see any boats bobbing on the ocean? Can you see any people swimming in the ocean? Can you see any people perhaps flying kites or paragliding? What can you actually see that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm? And as you look into the sky, what can you observe in the sky? Are any clouds in the sky? Where is the sun in relation to you? What can you see in the sky? Perhaps take the time to count the number of clouds. If there's clouds in the sky, take the time to count the number of clouds that you can see in the sky right now. And in terms of the weather, is it windy? Is there a calm wind? Is there a fresh breeze? Can you feel any of the warmth of the sun on your skin? Where is the sun in relation to you now? Is it behind you? Is it in front of you? Is it to your left or is it to your right? What can you see out in the sky? And what's the weather doing? How is it making you feel? Are you feeling lovely and warm, or do you have a fresh sense of freshness on your face, or a sense of freshness in your body, making you really feel alive? And I'd like you to take a walk on the beach now with me, and I'd like you to count out loud the number of steps as I recite them out loud to you. I'd like you to take a walk on the beach. Take me to a place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm, just counting the steps from 1 to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And as you finish that walk, I'd love you to just take a 360-degree view around you. Have a look all around you. What can you see in front of you? What can you see to your left? What can you see to your right that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm? And turn all the way around and just have a look at the tracks that you've made, perhaps in the sand, maybe your footprints that you've made. Have a look and see where you've come from. Have a look at the view that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm. And I'd like you now to just look out to the ocean and just look at the waves that make you feel safe, peaceful and calm. And just take a look at the waves, and I'd love you now to count the waves as they come in to the shore. Just count the waves from 10 down to 1. Thank you, Dr. Ephraim, for your feedback. Great technique. This is amazing technique. So we're going from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you're looking out to the sea and it making you feel safe, peaceful and calm, if you need to look elsewhere to make you feel safe, peaceful and calm, I want you to really connect with all your 5 senses. I want you to take time to listen and just listen in your mind what you can hear in that place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm. Connect with your eyes. What can you see in that place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm? Can you taste anything in that place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm? What can you feel in that place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm? And what can you smell in that place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm? And as you finish sensing all those lovely senses and connecting deeply with all those 5 senses that really help you feel safe, peaceful and calm, I'd love you to take yourself to a place now where you can get your most favourite dinner, most favourite picnic on a beach. Perhaps it's on the beach itself, perhaps it's in a restaurant. I just want you to take yourself to that place that you'd love to go to get the most sumptuous, glorious, most delicious food you could possibly imagine. Whatever that restaurant is for you, whatever that place is for you. If you want to have a picnic, I want you to think about what items would you choose to have in your picnic basket? What would you have with you at the beach that is just the most delicious food on this planet? And who would you have with you to serve it? Perhaps you might like to bring your favourite movie star. Perhaps it might like to be your superhero. Who would it be that would serve this delicious food to you? And what would you have to drink? I'd like you to think of 10 different things you'd love to drink or eat in that picnic of yours, and maybe shout it out if you're working in a community centre or with a group or with your family. Just shout out those 10 things that you'd love to have in your picnic, or think about those 10 things you'd love to have on your menu. So have a look on the menu that you have now, and look at the menu and what would you choose off that menu of yours. And as you've ordered that food, you've placed that order, perhaps it's food that you're pulling out of your picnic hamper, picnic basket. I'd like you to think about what food you're eating. So take the time to eat your starter if you've chosen one. Take the time to immerse yourself in eating your main, and take the time to immerse yourself in eating that dessert of choice, drinking that drink of choice that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm. And just really enjoy the moment. Just really enjoy that time in that place that makes you feel safe, peaceful and calm. Take the time to really, really enjoy the moment inside your mind. And if you're struggling to connect with this from an imagination perspective and a visualization perspective, then I encourage you to sing a song or go through the alphabet Pick your favourite song track or sing nursery rhymes to yourself for 5 to 7 minutes to help you reduce the emotional charge inside your mind, unplug those AMPA receptors that we really don't want there for the rest of our lives, and help you down-regulate your brain. Now, I'd love you to go to a place where you're sitting comfortably. In that place you feel safe, peaceful and calm. And I'd love you to just check back in with that event or experience that you rated yourself with a distress level out of 10. And I'd like you to now write down the rating that you would give for yourself, and write this down. And if you are online and you're willing to post and share, then please write down the rating you started with and the rating you finish with, and hopefully there is a reduction in that rating. If you have not observed a reduction in that rating, please go back either to that place that made you feel safe, peaceful and calm, or I encourage you to get out your playlist. That's your playlist of choice that makes you feel really calm on your phone, or whatever is appropriate for you, or to sing out loud your favourite songs for 5 to 7 minutes whilst you are doing havening, to really reduce and remove those AMPA receptors that are in your amygdala as a result of that traumatic experience. And do keep going until that rating has reduced to a level that is acceptable for you. So that is the end of the self-havening demonstration. I'd like you to just really sense yourself in the room now. Come back into the room, come back into how you're feeling, and just notice how your body is feeling. Notice any release of tension you may have experienced. You might feel heavier, you might feel lighter, you might have noticed a shift in sensations that occurred inside your body. Some people, if they have major trauma and they have a huge release, might feel incredibly tired, and that's very normal. I would encourage you to practice this, keep practicing this on a day-to-day basis, particularly for those that are in a war-torn country, just to help you reduce and down-regulate your brain on a day-to-day level and build that resilience that you so desperately need. If you need support from a trauma recovery group coaching perspective, where we go into much more detail beyond just the demonstration that I've given you in the context of havening, then please do email us at support@ruthmaryallen.com, or please visit our website for more details on trauma recovery group coaching, which I'll just put in the chat now. So it's ruthmaryallen.com, trauma recovery group coaching, and we will do our best, trauma recovery, and we will do our best to support you just in terms of questions around this. So this technique that I've shown you today, self-havening, is really there to help you reduce day-to-day stress and anxiety, and it's appropriate in the context of psychological trauma of war, because what we want to do is do our best to bring our brain back to a new level that is a much calmer level than the one it's in. And the more you practice this technique on a day-to-day basis, the more you will be able to down-regulate your brain from the trauma that you've experienced in the context of the Ukrainian crisis, or indeed anything else. It is not a solution to fully unchain your pain from your trauma. There are many other ways in which we can help you unchain your pain beyond the distraction technique, to really make sure that you down-regulate your brain to a level that is acceptable, particularly if you have complex trauma, particularly if your experience is really extended. I really encourage people to register for the trauma recovery group coaching, or to request one-on-one coaching, or we can do family coaching as well to help people with psychological trauma and day-to-day stress and anxiety. For those that are disaffected by the Ukrainian crisis, we're also giving you access free access to our course Havening with Lily, which is a demonstration on how self-havening, and it's particularly focused on parents and towards children as well. And my daughter Lily learnt this technique at aged 18 months, and she loves to have it used on her to help her reduce any stressors that she may have, particularly at night time, and it's incredibly useful for children at night. So I know, Dr. Ephraim, thank you for joining me on this live cast. Thank you for your feedback on the technique. Is it considered mindfulness? It's not part of the of mindfulness. It's really a psychosensory technique exclusively focused at reducing the encoding that you have inside your mind as a result of a traumatic experience, and that trauma could be anything from traumatic experience in the context of the Ukrainian crisis to a trauma that you know that happened to you in childhood as a result of abusive relationships or a car crash or indeed anything. Our brain, if it feels that it is threatened, if we feel threatened that we are going to lose something emotionally, physically, mentally or spiritually, then we will have that encoded in our mind as a trauma. It doesn't matter how big or how small you perceive it to be, a trauma is a trauma. And it's important that we unplug the encoding inside our mind so that we don't create layers of trauma as a result of our brain recognizing similar situations to the one that was initially encoded and strengthening those neural networks that we've created from our amygdala to the rest of our brain. And that's why it's so important that we equip children with this technique to help them, because their brain is so malleable, their brain is so vulnerable, that we need to intervene as soon as possible to help them unplug those AMPA receptors inside their mind. So I'm really pleased that I hope you found that helpful. If you have any further questions, then please email me at support@ruthmaryallen.com for any support or questions that you have around trauma recovery group coaching or the online programs that we offer, as well as we do detailed brain health evaluations and professional coaching in the context of brain health and also in the context of high performance to help you really unchain your pain, unleash the secrets to greater mental clarity and performance, and optimize your unique brain so that you can really unleash your full potential. It's been a real pleasure being with you here today on Wellbeing Wednesday. I wish you a safe and enjoyable Wellbeing Wednesday. And this is all about helping people become wellbeing warriors as part of our vision in the Wellbeing Warrior Academy, to really help people take back control of their well-being and be the boss of their well-being through the lens of brain health. And we're really here to support you in doing that. That's it from me for today. Make sure you check in with us by joining any one of our programs and joining our Facebook community, the Wellbeing Warrior Academy. If you want to learn more about the 5 pillars of brain health during Brain Health Awareness Week next week, where we'll be going talking about that every day to really give you some really powerful but simple tools to help you optimize your unique brain. Remember, you are not stuck with the brain you have. You have an incredible power, particularly through havening and the power of human touch, to unchain your pain and to optimize your unique brain. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Bye for now.